Okay, so we're going to go through the suspension trainer, the TRX. So for those of you that are training at home, you might have purchased some sort of suspension trainer. And then of course, when you go into the gym, they're a very common piece of kit to have into the gym. So I just want to talk through maybe some common errors that happen when people use the TRX. And I'm going to speak mainly about the rowing patterns that you do. There are lots of other things you can use TRX for, but the row is probably the most common one, so that's what I'm going to focus on. So of course, you can make the exercise incrementally harder by being closer to the anchor point. So if I want to make the exercise, if I'm doing my row patterns and I want to make the exercise harder, I simply just need to step forward, which is the beauty of a piece of kit like this, is that you can make inset changes to intensity. As things get harder, it's quite challenging to maintain postural alignment. So what are the two most common things that go wrong when people use a TRX? So the first thing is shoulder girdle position. It's very easy, especially when the actual exercise is hard, to pull, drive with the elbows, and then to bring the shoulders up and over. So I end up going into like a shrug and then a forward roll of the shoulder girdle. So you want to be constantly thinking about setting the shoulder blades down and back. Allow the shoulder blades to come away in the stretch position, and then set the shoulders and then pull through in one fluid motion. So you really center the head of the shoulder joint at the top, and you don't just overreach with the top of the shoulder as you pull through to upright. So always cueing yourself to draw the shoulder blades down and back, but you do want to allow the shoulder blades to articulate off the back of the rib cage. So you want to allow the shoulder blades to spread, pack and pull. So shoulder blade motion is important, but I would just say at the top to make sure we set down. The next thing that goes wrong is rib cage position and also hip position. Because it's very, very focused on upper body, people start to forget that actually it becomes almost like a reverse plank as far as postural alignment. So we want to think about setting the rib cage down. So using the abs to pack the rib cage in, using the buttocks to tilt and tuck the tailbone under. So when you pull through, your body stays nice and straight, because the most common problem with this is people start to overreach with the rib cage, hyperextend the spine, and what effectively happens is people go into a rib cage flare and forward tilt of the pelvis, which puts quite a lot of compression into the spine. So thinking about tailbone tuck, rib cage down, at the same time as thinking shoulder blades down, is a really, really important coaching cue to go through when you're using the TRX for your rows. So really thinking about, you set yourself up, let the shoulder blades set long, bum squeeze, rib cage down, pull through, set the shoulders down. Now, when you can nail all that, now you can start to think about making the exercise harder by walking forward. But what I would say is, if you're doing that and you're making things harder, never do it at the expense of your hip position, your spine position, or your shoulder blade posture. So making sure your technique is spot on all the time.